Kaka! Guten Abend, herzlich willkommen. Welcome to the Pirates Cove. It's Monday evening and we switch into the English language because we have a guest tonight. It's John Franklin Gardiner. Where is it? Why is it not working?
Let's forget about the soundboard.
No, we need it. Let's go now. Now we have to
Hey.
But we also have my co-host here, Max, which is also
Servus.
on my t-shirt, on our new t-shirts. How awesome are our new t-shirts? Please let us know. They are the best t-shirts in the world, right, John?
I'm feeling them a lot.
You want one?
I think I might be down for one when you guys have it, of course.
Maybe we give one out in the future. First question of the night to my co-host Max. How was your day? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Yeah, that wasn't enough of an answer. Give us a little bit more. Come on, Max.
I was working, and afterwards I hit the gym in order to get in shape. Hopefully soon. And afterwards I went to the AFC, American Football Zentrum. Had some talk with some guys. Today there was a meeting going on, and also the Team 3 had practice tonight. So I was seeing a lot of familiar faces and was waiting for you because you were in a lot of talks as well.
Yeah, that was a better answer than just great. How are you? And that was enough now, Max. It's good.
And we got a great guest, so
yeah, exactly.
who
So
wants to know
before
about
I
that?
answer about my day, is John, how are you doing? How was your day?
I'm pretty active, I would say.
Oh,
The MCI had their job expo fair today. Well, job fair you call it over here.
for the people who don't know, MCI, we will talk later about it. It's the Management Center Innsbruck, where John just graduated in his post-bachelor degree, master degree. How you say it?
Masters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I have more.
Of course, I heard. Oh yeah.
Oh, you didn't know that.
Going back straight to the island right there.
So you had some.
Yeah, so it was MCI had their the first job fair opened up in a while since the COVID situation. They had 90 companies there, so it allowed you the ability to cipher out which particular company might fit between your skill set and your child and experience. So that was quite an experience to be in that atmosphere for sure.
Nice. So, and then you were excited the whole day because you know that you're joining the Pirates Cove.
I was looking forward to it. I've been kind of looking forward for the moment to come and join you guys, and I mean, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
Of course, happy to see the t-shirts. So get those later, but yeah, for sure. Happy to be here.
For the people who don't know, John Franklin Gardiner gonna be our new quarterback in the ELF team. So welcome, John.
Thank you.
Welcome to the football program.
Gotta work on my shoulder now.
Yeah. Now, Max, you can ask me.
Power, how was your day?
My day was pretty productive. I was on holiday last week, so I had a lot to do today. And yeah, I finished everything. And then I was at the meeting, and now I'm here, and I'm super happy. And I'm super happy that we have these nice shirts. And for everybody who is now listening on Spotify, you can't see them. It's wonderful shirts with two wonderful faces on it, on a wonderful panorama from the Innsbruck North Kette. So it's a really...
Which is also the nickname for the
Defensive
SWARCO
players.
D-line. So
it's a combination of a lot. The sunset, and these beautiful people.
And if we get a lot of good feedback, they might as well find their way to the online shop
one day. And then you can buy it, and then you can walk around with our faces on your shirt. Yeah, John, before we talk about you and your upcoming quarterback career, we have some news around the club. What happened the last weeks, actually, because we didn't made a show last week. because it was Halloween and I didn't have a babysitter. Max had a Halloween party and John wasn't in town. So we said, let's skip it to this week. And I hope you guys are not mad at us. But our youth season in football continued successfully, and 2 of our 4 competing youth teams are in the final next Saturday. The under 18 and the under 16 both are playing in the American Football Centrum on Saturday, and you guys are very welcome to come to the game and support our young football players. The under 12 and the under 14, they missed the finals and finished the season in the semi or not in the playoffs. So also congratulations to them. Outside of that, in regards to football, we signed or re-signed or just continued with it is our offensive line coach, Dominic Bauer. Got announced today. Very experienced guy, was in the show already. So if you want to check him out, just go on our YouTube channel. You can find it here if you type in what is the word for Ausrufezeichen in English?
Exclamation mark.
Exclamation mark. And you can find it here. And then just look for the show with Dominic Bauer. Really nice guy, talks about offensive line, and really, really cool show. And
I think we gotta talk about that real quick.
Do it.
Actually, a great signing. I think he is very important to the team. He works. He has a great work ethic. He brings the best out of his O-linemen. He has been a part for the Raiders for quite some time now. We played together in the second team. Just an awesome guy and great for the foundation of the future. And I think if you have a great offensive line coach who's as experienced as him, we're going to have a great future protecting this guy.
Exactly. John, how are your offensive lineman skills? Can you snap the ball?
I could snap it.
I think you have.
That's about. I have the hands to.
You have a big hands. Can we just, for the people who watch it, sorry for the Spotify people, look at this difference. I mean, I have small hands, but John has really like big hands. And yeah, but we will talk later about your body measurement. Dominic Bauer, great coach, and we are really happy that he's back. And I think he's gonna build a great offensive line, and then it's gonna be awesome. What also happened is we played basketball. We played last Tuesday, maybe one of our biggest game in our young history of the Raiders basketball program. We played against the reigning champion from the first league, the BC Vienna. And I would say the first half was maybe the best basketball I ever saw from a Raiders team.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
The speed, then the individual moves or throws or techniques or actions we saw were like.
Agreed. It showed that the team had the ability to compete with the effort and the competition level. So that was a really, really good things to see from a Raiders team being as young as we are as a team. We're only like our 4th year in, and to be able to compete at such a level against a division champion, that was an exciting first half to see. So a lot of things to take from that, a lot of positives to take from that. And hopefully that continues to drive the guys going forward, motivate them competition-wise for the rest of the season. So that was a great.
It was a cup game. That's why we played as a second division team against the first division team. And at the end, we lost it. But at halftime, we were in front. Have you been in the...
Unfortunately, no.
No.
But I've seen the takeaways from it on Saturday. I think you could feel the energy.
Yeah. But it was really great because the Vienna team was they had 3, I think 2 US guys, 1 Canadian. Then they had 2 Austrian national team players. So their starting 5 was like unbelievable, and it was great talent on the court. And then in the first half we were in front 1 point.
Yes.
And then in the second half they showed us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the you can see the experience level kicked in the second half. They made the necessary adjustments, And a core team like that has players at that level and player experience, of course they're gonna make the necessary changes. So you could see the difference in flow between the first half and then the second half when they made the necessary changes, and then you could see their level of experience and courtship come together. So
it's interesting how much John knows about basketball since he's a football quarterback. So I'm serious. I could imagine that somebody just posted it somewhere.
I would love to.
Let's check out social media. John Franklin got in a new quarterback, and nobody finds any stats or photos of you from football.
Where's he from? He just drops out of nowhere.
No, John is a basketball player, obviously, and you guys voted for it. You wanted a basketball guy in the show, and that's why John got invited. And then last Saturday, you have been to the game. I was there. John wasn't there. We won against Salzburg, and I think it was an okay game. I mean, it was obvious that we had 3 games in 8 days or something. Yes. So you said the energy were good, but in comparison to the Tuesday game, you saw that especially our let's call it the 3-headed Slovenian monster, they were gassed. But no,
a win is a window.
A win is a window?
A window.
A win. I thought a win is a window.
It's philosophical.
Yeah, it sounds really good too, though. Might have to pin that.
Yeah. So while the basketball team was winning against Salzburg, John, you've been to Italy with your family and enjoyed a little bit this post-study time, right?
Yes.
So now you have time for family.
Yes.
That's great. That's it for the moment about the news around the club. Max, do you have anything?
Any news from the grill champions?
The grill champions?
Yeah. Barbecue champions? I don't know.
No, I don't get the joke.
Barbecue.
No,
Barbecue here.
Your barbecue?
Youth barbecue.
They will be at the final. Yeah. Now I understand what Mark is talking about. Like our Austrian barbecue champion, which is also always doing the barbecue at our youth football games. So obviously he's coming to the finals, to the football finals again to make you guys a good barbecue. So guys, come on Saturday to the Football Zentrum, support the teams in their football games and eat a good meat. Yeah. If you guys have any questions for John, to John, what is it, both right?
Both right.
Okay.
Both
then write them in the chat. We will read them and then John will answer them. Yeah, John, let's talk about you. First question, how old are you?
I am currently 38.
What a wonderful age, right?
A beautiful age.
Just like Sean.
Oh, yes.
Just like Sean. Just like Sean. We will have the first question from Simon is, where did you play before the Raiders? We will answer that. It's not easy to answer.
No,
right?
it's not.
It's gonna exceed the 1 hour limit.
Yeah. But we will talk about that. No. John, you are 38 years old. When was the first time you had a basketball in your hand?
First time probably had to be like around 10.
Oh, that late?
That late. And the first time I actually really fall in love with it was at 11. And then hence the reason why I wear the number 11, because that was the first moment I fell in love with the game. So yeah, it's the reason why I wear number 11 as much as I can.
What happened between 0 and 10? Did you?
No. Well, in an island.
We have to say that John is coming from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Correct.
From a Karibik island.
Karibik island, yeah.
Wonderful island. We will ask him why you moved to the mountains when you can live on the beach, but that's a different story. But yeah, what happened between 0 and 10?
Well, 0 and 10, the national sport on the island is cricket.
Oh.
And if anybody that knows cricket, it is
nobody knows. Nobody understands it.
Nobody quite understands it unless you're in the culture of it.
Is it not like way more posh baseball?
It's the best way to describe it. I think that's the best way to describe it. And I grew up on that. My uncles, my cousins, everybody played the sport. And I just did not have... I tried it and just didn't have a wire for it. And so I tried soccer. But soccer helped with conditioning and all that stuff, but it wasn't fast paced enough for me. And then the minute I got hooked on basketball, I didn't turn back to any sport after that.
And how popular is basketball on your
It is.
island or in total in the Caribbean region?
In the Caribbean region, now and presently, it has a greater sense of popularity. But before, especially on St. Vincent, the status was cricket, then women's netball.
Women's netball.
Women's netball.
What is women's netball? What is netball?
It's basketball without dribbling.
What?
Basketball without dribbling. You have to look it up.
So you stand there, you pass the ball, and then if you're under the basket, you throw. But
no dribbling. You could move like we're doing a passing drill, hot potato basically.
Yeah. So you're not allowed to move with the ball.
You're not allowed to. You could move and step, but the ball has to be out your hand at a certain point.
And that's the second famous sport.
Well, let's go. Soccer, cricket, netball.
Okay. Women netball.
Like women.
I love how some countries have a certain women's sports as their top. Like in Peru, there's women wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah, it is.
It's awesome.
Women's best wrestling. Okay.
Yeah.
But okay, so it is, besides these sports, basketball is a world sport, right?
It's a world sport.
It's a world sport. It's like soccer, which you can play everywhere.
Yeah.
Cricket is maybe more, because I don't know if there's even a cricket club in Austria.
No, I don't believe so. I think
maybe in Vienna
but I think it's more of a club setting if for people that has a cultural background or exposure to it. But majority, if you look, majority of cricket is played in countries that had some influence from the British. Yeah. So if you look from the West Indian region where I'm from, the British had established some rulings there. So hence the cricket becomes one of the major sport there, of course.
Like in India,
Pakistan,
Sri Lanka,
South Africa, those places. Yeah.
Okay, so then you started playing basketball with 11.
Yeah.
And how is it in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Is it similar like in Central Europe with this club system, or is sport also attached to the school like in the US system?
No, it's more attached like the US system.
Okay. So you play for your school.
You play for your school, you play for your college, whatever, university. So that system is quite prevalent throughout the Caribbean region. So it was easy to adapt the sports from that setting.
Okay.
There. Yeah.
And then through your high school time, you were growing and growing and growing.
Never stopping.
Never stopped. And well, kind of stopped, but yeah.
How tall are you?
I 2.03 meters.
2.03
meters. And I guess in English it's 6'9".
6'9".
Yeah.
That's quite tall for a quarterback.
I think you look over the line.
Yeah, exactly. I think we don't have a lineman who is over 2 meters.
You could easily look over Toby.
No, but you would have a little bit more muscle, but then you were a perfect tight end.
Yeah, you would be an advantage.
Yeah. But
never too late.
Football was maybe not popular, or is not popular.
Not at all.
In the Caribbean.
Not at all. No. It's not even a sport that's played there. Yeah. And the liking for the sports you might have people more liking rugby than football. Yeah.
Again, the British
influence, of course.
I played with a British Jamaican player in Dresden, and he played for the Jamaican national team rugby team.
Yeah.
But he was grown up in Great Britain. Nevertheless, so your high school time was over, and then you got recruited.
Well,
or how did this?
That is a very interesting story in itself. By the time I get to my junior year, the way we competed, high school, we played the under 19, under 21 tournaments, and we normally we have a regional tournament where we play the other islands such as Grenada, and it's called a Windward Island tournament, where you play the top athletes. It's basically a week of competition with all the top disciplines, and whether it be basketball, soccer, track and field, volleyball, men's and women's, and you go netball, and then you go and compete for about a week against each country's best under 19 talent, and based out of that, then you get the opportunity to probably play in front of some scouts or something like that. But my situation was that I played because I love the sport and never had an awareness that I was going to further than that.
So it was never your plan to make a career out of it?
None. It was never a thought. And it so happened we're playing on this island of St. Lucia. A female head coach from the junior college that I ended up attending was on vacation on the island.
And saw the sport event.
And saw the sport event, came to it. Of course, he's watching basketball, and he records the game. Talks to my coach. This is information that I got after the fact, later on. Speaks to my head coach. Goes back to the U.S. Then the phone call. I go back home, preparing for life after high school, when I go to technical college or whatever the case. And I will never forget. The phone rings. And this time, no cell phones. Everything is a house phone. So if the phone rings, you answer it. Yes, hello. And then the coach is like, "Oh, this is Coach Pat Rafferty from the." Man, stop playing.
Are you started the joke?
Yeah, I thought my team was playing a prank because they did it before.
Okay.
And I fell for it. So this time I was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna fall for it twice." It's like, man, stop playing, man. And like, no, this is Coach Pat Rafferty from Grayson County College, and I'm calling for John Gardiner. It's like, this sounds too rehearsed. But I'm gonna play along and say I got caught again. So this was on a Sunday. We have the conversation. He said, "You'll call me back, get the information." He has my coach's information and all that. I hang up the phone. I was like, I go to school on Monday. I'm expecting one of my teammates to come out. Like, we call me after again. Going through the entire day, no one says anything. It's like, what is?
Was it maybe a favorite call?
And then I'm like, did I blow it? Because I really did kind of have an attitude on there. Like, nonchalant, didn't really care about it. And the coach said he'll call back. So now every evening I go, I'm hovering around the phone like.
Then you were waiting.
Yeah. The phone rings, he calls back, and of course, answer it. And this time I'm more energetic and excited. And the first thing I say, "Coach, let me apologize for last Sunday." And the coach is like, "How would you like the opportunity to come to the U.S. and play basketball?" And I was like, "Yeah, when?" And that following that call happened in May, and then in August of 2003,
you got enrolled.
I got enrolled to go to the
junior college
in Texas, in Sherman, Texas, to be exact. And it was the first time I traveled out of the Caribbean region. So, seeing major highways for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, especially Texas. Right?
Texas, of course.
You got the American way straight in your face.
Right in your face. Trucks.
Yeah.
I mean, pickup trucks. I mean, we have pickup trucks in the island, but I'm talking about things sitting up here on lifts, and I was like, this is it was, and finally seeing an 18-wheeler not holding up traffic. That was different. So. Yeah, that was quite an interesting
so you got
learning.
You got recruited through
a wimp. A wimp.
Like,
yeah, by chance.
By chance, because you didn't send it out tape or something. You didn't try to get recruited, right? It was for you. It was your sport at your high school. You enjoyed it. But you had a different way in your mind for your future.
Correct, because I was very advanced in three different disciplines. I mean, I was MVP for both the basketball and volleyball during the tournament. So I already had established myself as being an athlete that could excel. Yeah. But the difference was I didn't really have like a mentor, an example that points like, hey, if you keep doing this, this is what could happen. Mm. And I think sometimes that is the fallback with a lot of athletes during my time growing up in sports, is that not having that platform or a person that says, hey, you have the ability to do this, let me take you there. So,
which is maybe now a little bit easier with internet and everything.
Correct.
So how old were you at the time?
I was 17 turning 18.
And you've never been away from home?
I've only been away from home within the Caribbean regions, traveling to play, but never extensively for more than 2 weeks, a week and a half.
So and then you jumped right into the plane.
Jumped right into
Texas,
the plane. Yep.
Moved into a dorm.
Straight into a dorm.
Yeah.
And if you if you know the history of the islands, well, particularly St. Vincent, there's no indoor gymnasium.
It's all outdoor.
Everything is outdoor blacktop. So you could imagine my excitement.
Blacktop is like concrete, right?
Concrete,
like,
pave, what do you call it? Asphalt.
Yeah, asphalt. Yeah.
Asphalt.
Yeah.
So you can imagine walking into a gym for the first time, roof, everything, AC, wooden floor, and just you know, like having to open up. And yeah, it was the first time I ever walked on the hardwood floor, touched it, and I literally kneeled down, kissed the floor, and all my teammates and American teammates just looking at me really weird, like, what's wrong with this guy? And I was like, you guys will never understand how much this
means to
me right now. So yeah.
But after junior college, you got you transferred, right?
Yes, transferred. After you play 2 years of junior college, you have to transfer out.
It's only 2 years.
Only 2 years
to prepare you for college. So.
Correct. You could do it in 1 year, but majority of the times you do it in 1 year, you still have to get your credits up.
Yeah.
And I'm coming from the Caribbean education system, and then so that means I had to build my credit up in the JUCO level, and then get it up to standard.
The GPA thing then to go to
Correct.
to a college or university.
And then once that was established, then I had my picks of college, and I wanted to stay in Texas because, of course, it's like I built almost like have a family there, a surrogate family that I was really close to. So there was options to go to places like Wisconsin, California.
So you got offers? Or?
Got offers to go to those schools in those regions, but Wisconsin, I mean, I laugh about it now, but I was not trying to deal with all that snow, man. It's just
not at that time.
Oh no, man! You see all that white powder, you come on the airport like, nah, pass. I don't even want to finish the recruiting trip. Let's just take me back to hot Texas, man. And after that, California was nice, but I just knew I would not be focused out in Cali. It's just
too much distraction.
Too much going on, and then so settled back in Texas. Got to Huntsville, Texas, Sam Houston State, and
what is it? D1, right?
D1.
Full scholarship.
Full scholarship, full ride. Yeah.
And is Texas a basketball state?
More of a football state.
More of a football state. Right?
Basketball will come in second.
Do they have a football team, Sam Houston?
Yeah, they do. Actually, if you look it up right now, Sam Houston, the Bearcats. They're probably one of the top FSC.
Red color, right?
Yeah, orange actually.
Orange.
If you look it up right now, they were one of the top FCS school D1 schools in football right now. They won the championship a couple times already. So, yeah.
So did you also went to other sports events? Like, did you went for a football game?
I went to a football game. It was a beautiful thing to see, but at the same time, I just knew I was never going to play this sport. I'm happy.
Did the football coach try to recruit you?
He did try to recruit me. My second year, Sam.
So to interrupt you, a lot of football coaches are looking for basketball players because they can move better, faster, and if they have the same ability like a football athlete, like jumping, catch, good eye control,
coordination, yeah,
and all these things. So people who play basketball are often also good football players.
From experience, if you look at some of the top tight ends, Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, prime football basketball players first, and then converted into football. Yeah. So the way that happened, I tore my ACL my second year, and so during rehabbing, I worked out with the football team during the summer, and we're doing shuttles. And of course, as a basketball person, you'll
do them quite
quite quick. So I'm passing the linemen and the linebackers, and I'm going, and the coach is up there just watching it.
Who's that guy?
Who's that guy, right? So it comes out, and the coach is like, he kind of looking at me. He's like, "You play football here?" I was like, "No, sir. I just work out with the football team during stuff." And he said, "You ever think about playing football?" And I was like, I just remember during my rehab, the stories the football players were telling about how they got their ACL tore. And it was most of the time they said, I got my foot stuck in the ground. And I was like, no, can't do it.
That's exactly what happened.
300-pound lineman fell into my knee.
Yeah. And when I heard the particular stories, and I was like,
oh, no.
Nah, pass, coach. Don't hit my body.
So the football career was over.
Yeah.
So you came to the state, or you got recruited by accident.
Yep.
Then you were on a Division 1 college. You were successful there. I mean, you were injured, but you had quite a good career there.
Correct.
Did you have the dream at that moment of the NBA?
No.
No.
Still didn't have a moment in the NBA. I just know that my college career, I just had the ability or the opportunity to play the sport at the highest possible level that I didn't even thought I would be able to.
Mm.
And I just enjoyed every moment that I could with it, and then make sure, more importantly, was to get my degree. So once that road, once that I came to that point of graduation, my coach is the one that approached me and said, "Hey, you ever thought about playing professionally, like pro?" And I was like, "Not really, coach, but if the opportunity presents itself, I'm willing to try it," because it's the same mindset that I had with taking the opportunity to
go to junior college.
To go to junior college. So once that door opened up and I tried it, and then I would say I graduated in 2008, and then in 2011 I went to a Dallas Mavs open tryout because they also had their affiliate team, the Texas Legends.
Is it the
minor league team?
Summer league team.
Summer league team, correct. So out of 125 people that was there, and I was like, well, because I got the news from one of my friends when I just came back from Mexico. I just played that year, and he said, "Hey, maybe you should try out." And I was like, "What?"
You were in shape.
I was in shape. Why not? And out of the 125, they were picking top 5 positions from each positions. I happened to get picked up. I was like, well, okay, but it also taught me that the NBA was a completely different animal. Like, I'm 2'3" playing a power forward center, and then I'm over there for the tryout, and they said, "Okay, let me have my 4s here, my 3s here, my 2s here," and I'm looking at these trees of guys, and they go over to the 2 and 3 position, and I was like,
where should I go now?
Yeah, where am I supposed to go? So we're running plays. I said, my 4, you need to set a screen for 2. And I'm just like, this don't look right. But it showed you that that majority of times the misconception is that everybody thinks they have a chance for the NBA. But I think once you're in that particular setting, you find out very, very fast that there's a difference. There's a difference between the talent level for that.
That's I think very, very, very similar to football too. I mean, there's so much football players in the States, and what is it, 0.01% is making the pros, and there's
only so many spots, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But there's
like thousands of
basically
colleges.
limitless players who come there every year.
Yeah.
And this 1% who makes it to the NFL is like, these are the freaks.
The freak of nature.
Yeah.
Like
the size, the
size,
speed, the abilities.
It's one of my teammates that I played with, Chaz Franklin. Shout out to Chaz Franklin. One thing he had pointed out was that Mo Cheeks had told him, who was the head coach of the Philadelphia Sixers at one point. He asked him, "What does it take to get into the league?" And he just simply looked at him and said, "You have to be something special."
And at the end, don't get me wrong, you were just average for them. That wasn't enough.
That was a lesson I learned very early. I was never cocky or over the top about it, and I just tried it just to see where my position was in terms of even if there's an ability to sniff it or not. And the thing that you learn early is that your skill development has to be from an early stage. Once you're a late bloomer, the only thing that could really save you is height.
Yeah.
And if you don't have height, you better have skills.
Yeah.
And if you don't learn that fast, then you're already behind the 8 ball. Yeah.
So, but your basketball journey wasn't over. It started.
It started.
You mentioned you played in in Mexico between college and that Mavericks tryout.
Yes.
But it wasn't only Mexico.
No.
Let's take a different approach.
Yes.
Where haven't you played?
On which continent have you played? Is there one continent you haven't played on?
Africa.
funny story. You maybe heard about it, about this international pathway program from the NFL where Sandro Platzkummer is was part of.
Yes.
And he got to the NFL, right?
Yes.
And they do every year. They do tryouts in London, and this year I think they invited, I think, over 10 guys from Nigeria who never played football before, but were basketball players, athletes, because the NFL is also looking, and at the end it's a marketing thing,
Of
you know,
course.
they want to go on the African market, and
Yes.
but so you didn't play in Africa.
No, never got the chance to do it. The only place was Tunisia, but I didn't take that job there because I already had a better options elsewhere, somewhere else. So yeah, that's the only place I haven't touched.
We do not have the time to talk about every country you played, but let's do it this way. Just tell us maybe from years, or like how you said, in a timetable, after college, in which countries you played.
Okay.
And I tried to count.
I remember the very first country, Ireland.
Then so the first time after college was
Ireland.
Europe,
straight to Europe.
Ireland. Cool. Okay.
And I from there, Kosovo, Macedonia, then to Mexico. Played Mexico long term for 4 years. Then El Salvador, Nicaragua, Guatemala, Peru.
How's your
Spanish?
Spanish?
So más o menos.
I don't know what it might. I don't speak Spanish.
Singapore, Philippines. Did I already mention Saudi Arabia?
No.
Saudi Arabia. And Bolivia. Yeah, that's about.
And then Austria.
And
you coached in Vietnam.
I'm coaching Vietnam.
For a youth education basketball program.
Correct.
So you traveled 14 countries, or you played in 14 countries with basketball.
Correct.
In a time frame between your age of
23, 24 to now.
Yeah, you were in Austria now for
3 years, 3.5 years.
So for 12 years.
12 years. Because the way the basketball contract worked, which I did, was the European leagues started, so they will start, say, September.
Yeah.
And by the time they end in the summer, the South American leagues are in the summer. So you're always back and forth. If you manage it right,
you can have a full year of basketball.
A full year of basketball. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
That must be hard on the joints, right?
Not necessarily.
And all the flights between Europe and...
I like travel. I love traveling a lot.
Even with 2 meters and...
The one... Exit seats.
Exit seats, yeah. First row.
Exit seats. And I didn't pay for none of the exit seats. Yeah. I just show up at the counter with my ticket and they're like, yeah, Mr. Gardiner, yeah. Let me see your ticket. Exit seat, please. Yeah.
That's actually a life hack, right?
Oh, man.
Just be
tall. Just be tall. But also have a good social skill with people, and then that really helps a lot.
You said you were 4 years in Mexico.
Yes.
So this was your longest
That was
period.
my longest period of study, yeah.
When you, because this is what maybe European fans or sports fans want to know, where was the best atmosphere from the fans? Because South America is famous, for example, also for its soccer fans, but how was it in basketball?
I would say if I go from a European standpoint, Kosovo was the
Kosovo,
best.
yeah, of course.
It was
crazy.
It was crazy. It was the first time I've ever seen a live flare in a gym, in an indoor gym, flying around. I was like, man, this cannot be serious. You cannot be real.
If they throw it on the court.
Goodness. It was, and the fans are very passionate, especially when you're playing against a rival team.
Yeah.
Lose any other game in the season, but not against your rival team. And
crazy.
Yeah, I would say Kosovo it's still an experience that has stuck with me ever since. And Trepka, KB Trepka, shout out to Trepka Mitrovica, they've established themselves into a well-dominant team now. So it's always interesting to look back at teams that you played with in the beginning
and where they are now,
and how established of a powerhouse they've become. So that's always a great thing to see the levels that when they change and climb up to. So that's pretty good.
where was your best time in total? Where you say, okay, this is where, I mean, you lived kind of this
Nomadic.
pro import life, right?
Yeah.
You lived maybe in a lot of hotels or small
houses or an apartment. I would say, I gotta say Mexico, because I was able. You literally get to travel. They have this tournament called money tournaments. I mean, I don't know if it's prominent now, but during my time there, you played in the local leagues, in the national league, and then they have a state league. So the state league will have maybe 12 teams. And the state league, playing in that, how well you play is kind of your intro into the national league.
Okay.
If you play well enough, then you get invited to the national league with a team and you play there. And then the breaks in between, they have money tournaments.
So money.
Money. So you're literally traveling from one city to the other city, all over Mexico, just play money tournaments, getting paid to just come play for 2 days. And that was one of the most amazing experience I've had with basketball, because it was just literally basketball year round, but a different format of being able to make money, but and still get to visit and enjoy a country in a different manner. So it was amazing. Yeah.
Crazy. So little John, with 11 years old, grabbed his basketball, never thought about traveling 14 countries with basketball and do money ball games in Mexico a couple of years later. What a journey.
It's been quite a journey. Yeah.
Max, do you have a question before I go in a little bit more into the Austrian time?
In which country have you played your most dominant game? Or let's say your most dominant season?
I would say I found my groove, let's say between the year of 2014 all the way to 2018, because I went on, I think I expanded my game from what it was in college, and then you start learning at the pro level that you have to enhance your game or improve in the game. And usually in college, you're restricted to a particular style of play or system play. But once you get into the professional aspect, a team recruits you to be the lead player. You're not coming to that team you as an import, you're not coming in as a role player. You're coming in as the guy to lead, to start. So once you start figuring out that you have that green light to lead the team, then you know you have to work and do a lot more and advance your game. So I would say
this is also, sorry to interrupt you again.
No, sure.
What we expect, we talked about it in the show a couple of weeks ago. What we expect from players coming to us, because there was a funny story. There was one player who, I don't want to say the name, and I also don't want to say the name of the import player, but who met the import player the first time and looked into his eyes and said, "Hey, I pay membership fee to pay you, so you better play good." So this is what the first moment how the people met.
I remember that.
So
vaguely.
You have a role. In the team,
you have a role. Yeah, and once I think it's one of the things that most players who are imported have to know or learn is, what is your role on that team. You're not coming to be a role player, you come to carry a team. And the significance of that also means you have to work with what you have. So my goal was to always trying to improve my teammates around me, because you can't do it by yourself. I mean, you have more of the green light to do stuff, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing as a team concept. You don't advance or you don't win without the next man next to you putting in his share of work, no matter how limited it may be or not. And also, I would say, to answer your question, between the timeline of 2014 to 2018, I just went on a very dominant run where I just kept getting all my teams into championships, and just we got there five different countries, got there 5 times, won 3 of them, lost 2 of them. So
pretty impressive resume.
Yeah, so it taught you the experience that every experience is very different, but at the same time, you understand the dynamic of communication with your teammate, what is the best way, and it kind of somehow you have to all think about you being a coach as well. Because if you don't bring your teammate up and motivate them to the level that they think they could compete with you as well, then their demeanor drops as well. So, yeah, I would say that's been my most dominant stint between those years.
Interesting. John, at the end of your playing career, you started coaching.
Yes.
Right. You went with this young kids coaches education basketball program to Vietnam.
Yes.
But then I can remember a day where Stefan Oberhauser, our basketball team captain, came to me and said, "Hey, Paul, there's this guy, his name is John. He's really good. He's a former pro and he now lives here in Innsbruck and he might want to join a team. He's now in Vietnam but do you know maybe anything how we can get him here?" I said, "Hey Stefan, we are playing a third league. We cannot afford now a pro. What's going on?" "No, it's not about money. Let's wait when you see him." And then you came. I think you came on Friday and played on Saturday or something.
Yes.
I said, "Okay, yeah, this guy looks different than the other guys. Let's try to get him here." And but there was a reason why you were in Austria and in Innsbruck, right?
Yes. I got hit.
The magic
I
kiss.
got hit by the love bug.
Like so many other athletes in the past.
As I've been finding out, particularly here in Innsbruck, like once you get hit, you don't leave. You
Innsbruck is
stay.
honeypot nation.
So you found your future wife at that time, and before we continue, I just wanna thank you, einschalten, for your subscription. Thank you very much. And we also had a comment from Unbedingt. We need at least a second time with John. There are so much interesting stories to dive in. Maybe about your South American time.
I'll look forward to it.
Did you had contact with the cartel? I hope not.
We did.
Let's talk in a second show
Yes.
about it. Maybe we do another show and talk about it. And then somebody said, "You are 38. You look so much younger." Wow.
Oh, who's that guy?
Yeah. Stepo 27.
Hey, I think I might know who that guy is.
Okay, so you met your future wife at that time. You moved to Innsbruck. You started playing for us.
Yes.
And then through our connection with the Management Center Innsbruck, you got the opportunity to study your master.
Right.
What did you study at Houston? What was your bachelor?
Criminal justice and sociology.
Criminal justice.
Yes.
What is criminal justice because I think this subject doesn't exist here in Austria.
No.
How could you transfer?
It would be more of, say, in the role of juvenile delinquency police administration. It covers more. The U.S. is more of a higher incarceration country that has policing, like prison system,
law and order.
Law and order. So basically that's the key thing about it, the law and order aspect. And so
CIA.
CIA Brooks. So you go into that with my focus was to look at the help juvenile delinquents, which is younger kids that might be in the system that is troubled a bit. And due to my basketball background, I always think that I could use sport to help excel or help them guide their way out. So
it is technically it's a social worker who has law experience.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
But in Innsbruck, what did you study as your master?
International business and law.
Okay. So you had the law thing, but business was completely new.
Completely new. Something completely different.
And the law part is as well.
And the law part, yes, because it's EU law. It's EU law now.
Business law, right?
It's business law, correct. So it's
I did the
different.
bachelor's program for that.
Quite interested.
Yeah, I liked it as well.
I really would encourage anybody if they have the chance or the opportunity to study at MCI, go for it.
Yeah. For the people who don't know, MCI is a partner of the Raiders. So if you want to play football or basketball in Innsbruck and want to study, MCI is a perfect partner for that. And if you're interested in it, just contact us and we can help and connect you guys. Unbedingt just translated it a bit into German. Sozialarbeiter would be maybe.
No, that would be the term, correct.
But what I wanted to say is you graduated 2 weeks ago.
Correct.
10 days ago. No. 8 days.
9 days ago about so.
Congratulations to your master degree in international business and law.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So we will see you next time in suit and tie.
Yeah, well, you probably have missed it already. I came down a couple times in suit and tie, so you probably missed it.
Yeah, and I saw the photos of your graduation party.
Yeah.
You look good.
Thank you, sir.
It fits you.
It's been a while since I've been in a suit. That's I could say that.
I really liked your LinkedIn post. That was inspirational.
Thanks. Yeah,
That was a quick switch. I don't get it. What was
no,
it about?
the LinkedIn post was about the journey of the masters when I studied in 2019. Because when I first came here, my question was, how do you get integrated into a different culture that you're planning to really stay? Because basketball in the beginning was just traveling to be there temporarily, then leave. Then once you figure out that you're going to stay in a place for an extensive period of time, you have to adapt to it. And of course, the two best ways that I've learned to adapt to a place is either through sports or through education. And when the partnership allowed me the opportunity to go to MCI to do the education part, I was like, I have to jump at it, because I believe it would open up an opportunity that I probably wouldn't have otherwise. So, yeah, the post was the journey of navigating playing basketball, being a father at the same time, being a full-time student, and trying to do employment at the same time, which is not the easiest. Talk about time management. I would say it's not the easiest route, but I am really happy I couldn't have done it without the support system around me. And that starts with my wife, of course, and my family, of course, my teammates from the team, and of course, the SWARCO organizations for sticking with me throughout the last 3 seasons to get it done. So there's a lot of people to thank, and not enough time to thank them for it. So yeah, that was what that whole post was about.
And I need to read it. It sounds good. And
He
indeed,
just recited it word by word.
okay. And in that time where you studied, you just mentioned it. You played basketball. You played basketball for the Raiders.
Yes.
Now your career is a little bit maybe fading out, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But if people see you in the gym on game day, for me, you are always like, even if you don't look that old, like Steppo27 said, but you are kind of the father of the team, right? You're the
Kind of a bit, yeah.
You're the daddy in the background.
Yeah.
You don't care about minutes.
No,
right? That
none
time
of
is
it.
over.
Yes.
But you are such a positive and motivational guy when you're on the court or on the bench, and it's impressive to see, and also how the younger players are looking up to you. I think you have a connection to your teammates, right?
Yeah, I do.
Well,
I do. I think the future of basketball could be a very bright one for Innsbruck, based on the core of young players that we have now. And it'd be important to make sure that they know that they're capable of a lot more than what they're doing right now. So I kind of embrace the role of a person that has the experience of played at the pro level possible, and maybe there's some knowledge I could hand down to them that could take them. Maybe they might not play basketball in a full professional sense, but just to let them know that the opportunity to do it is possible, but the work is necessary in order to do it. So yeah, I'm not looking for hardcore minutes or anything like that. I just want my young guys to go out there, prove their work, get their minutes up, get their experience. And my role right now is to be that of a supporting cast for my teammates at this moment, at this juncture in my career. So not looking to expand it, to extend it, just be as supportive as I can for my teammates.
Very humble.
Very humble. Yeah.
That's nice. Do you see a career after the career? Like, do you see yourself in coaching or something?
I've actually always seen myself from a coaching aspect, because I've always had the passion to teach from a teacher's aspect of the game. Even when I played it, if the coach said something in terms of a play, who's your favorite teammate and why is his name Stefan? That's a very interesting question, Steph 027. I would say one of my favorite teammates is is that guy, Stefan Overhauser. He's a well-driven dude, but I also like his demeanor on and off the court. And Stefan's the type of person you build more than just camaraderie as a teammate, but you build something as a friendship with. And that's what I admire most about my teammates for the last 3 years. There's a camaraderie there that without basketball, that relationship will still continue throughout life. So as sport has always taught you, the brotherhood is what sports normally create. Team sport does. So
friendship for life.
Friendship for life, correct.
Yeah.
And it also helps that he provides locations, right?
Yes, he's very good with that too. Make him shout.
And Laird is also a former teammate and a player of the Raiders, wrote John the Goat.
Shout out to my young buck.
So we are coming to an end. Maybe some last words. You already mentioned it a little bit, but give these young guys out there, these young athletes, an advice. What do you think is a lot of things are happening maybe in an athlete's life also. By accident is always accident is a bad word, but by coincidence.
Yeah.
And be at the right time at the right place. Have this coach at the right time at the right place. But what do you say to young guys? What is an important thing to be successful in sports? Maybe in life.
Grind. Too. I think one of my it's a simple quote, but it's grind now, shine later. If you use the example of your top NBA players, whether you say Steph, Kyrie, whatever, you see them on the big stage of what they do. But what most young players fail to understand is the work that allow them to be as great as they are. So if you grind now, put in all the work necessary, the effort, the time, the necessary gym time, and it doesn't just come from just showing up at practice with team practice. You have to do your own individual work in order to improve your game. And if you put in that particular style of work and grind now, then more than likely a higher probability, not to say it would, but there's a higher probability that the shine that comes with that effort would advance your game to a higher position than what it is now. So that's always been the easiest and little quote that I've always had. Grind now, shine later.
And work out when nobody's watching.
Yes.
Like do the extra thing when nobody's watching.
Yeah. It's always about
outwork.
Yeah.
It's really interesting what you're saying, because we had our ELF football kickoff meeting tonight for the off season, where Coach Kevin talked about similar things, and the motto of this off season is grind.
Yeah.
Work hard, and that's maybe transfers like sport is always doing to life too.
Yes.
And if you are a hard worker, good things will happen.
Yes.
If you're a lazy big fat cat on the couch,
I mean, you probably eat good, but hey.
One last question from my side, and then I think we gonna let it go. Sure. Is now you graduated your master's in your master's degree. What is your future looking? What do you want to do? Where you want to work, or what is? Well,
I'm looking for companies that match my particular skill set. I also look for the environment that creates the opportunity to work from a teamwork setting, because individually you could do a lot, but I think you achieve a lot more in an ideal team setting. So for me, it's always been the key thing to work in a environment that you're hungry to get up every morning. It's like, all right, get work to be done. So I'm looking at the various companies that are in Innsbruck, because of course I'm stationed in Innsbruck, and based on the opportunities that comes along the way, see which opportunity fits my style and go from there. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to. Anything from the marketing side, or anything from a coaching side, anything from a digital management side, Those are the options. Those are the things I look forward to.
So if somebody's watching, and if you need a team player in your company who knows law, international business, and have a lot of social skills, give him a call.
Looking forward to it.
Max,
I think we gotta run the survey on who's gonna.
no, we have guests for the next 2 weeks.
Oh, we put the next
We
2 weeks. I
already have
only
guests
knew
for the next
about
2 weeks.
one.
Next week is gonna be awesome. The
Yes.
guy is you guys gonna enjoy, because next week gonna be again also a special show, because first the guest's gonna be awesome, like always. Our guests are always the best, and you guys can win a shirt, one of these awesome Pirates Cove shirts in size L. So tune in next week to win that shirt. It fits also a 2 meter and
3.
3
3, yeah.
basketball player on his left leg.
That's right.
So, you guys have to join next week again, and the week after we have maybe 2 guests in 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna be a big group. We have to expand our camera angle. Maybe let's see. Marco der Creator schreibt noch, so inspiring. Coach John's inspirational. Coach John
Spitting
spitting
facts.
facts. Greetings from Schwarz. Yeah?
Greeting, young fella.
Yeah, John. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Very nice show. And like always, we let. No, Max. No, we have the Spotify playlist. I forgot one very important thing. John, what is your song of the day? Because we have a Spotify playlist.
What do we have?
We have a playlist. It's called Pirates Cove, obviously.
Okay.
There are already 116 songs on it, and every guest and always us are choosing the song of the day. Like what one of your favorite songs we put on the playlist, and then the people can listen to it.
Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes.
Eminem.
Part 2.
I think it's part 2. Busta Rhymes and Eminem.
Please.
Yeah, calm down.
Calm down.
Calm down. Busta Rhymes, Eminem.
Okay, song to playlist. Okay, yeah. Max.
Yeah, since John is so inspirational, there's some
Inspirational
music
songs.
you can listen to while you listen to his talks. Vangelis, Conquest of Paradise.
Vangelis.
Yes.
Is he Greece?
I don't know. But you know the song.
Really? We
Probably.
can't play it, copyright
Yeah.
things. Twitch is really tough, but you guys can listen it, and I will listen to it too. And I will put on no, that's too sad.
Oh. What did you listen to?
No, it's How Do I Say Goodbye? It's a song about how do I say goodbye to somebody who accidentally died. No, it's a sad song. I don't want to put that on. I think we already have it. Three Little Birds. Yeah, we already have it, right? From Bob Marley.
I think so too.
Three Little Birds from Bob Marley.
Absolute
Such
classic.
an all-time classic. It must be
Awesome.
on
Yeah, it's already on there.
Absolute classic stuff.
Then, but it still will be Bob Marley from my side, and we take.
Let's go. Could You Be Loved?
Could You Be Loved?
Could You Be Loved? That's a nice song.
It's always a...
Yeah. And if you guys want to listen to our playlist, just put exclamation mark, however you say, Spotify in the chat, and then the link is coming up, and click on it, follow it. There are already now almost 8 hours of awesome music. The best songs in the world are on that playlist. That's it. Max, your last words for tonight.
Thanks for joining, as always. Thanks, John.
Thank you. Thank
The
you for
last
having
words are yours.
me.
No, I have the.
No, he has. He always have the last
Hey,
word.
come
Yeah,
on, please.
The last
yeah.
word.
No last words from my side. Just wishing you guys a blessed and productive week. Stay safe out there. Stay focused and stay grinding.
Thank you very much. Vielen Dank fürs Einschalten. See you next week. Danke, dass ihr dabei seid. Danke für den ganzen Support. Viele News werden jetzt kommen die nächsten Wochen. Also folgt uns auf unseren Kanälen. Bleibt gesund. See you soon. Ciao. Bye. Führte. Ciao. Kakao.
Ciao. I had the last word.